beautiful. Okay. Actually, how's the tummy been? Because we'll leave that alone. So the tummy's still feeling nauseous and sick?
It actually wasn't too bad, but
Mhm.
I mean, sometimes about 3 o'clock in the morning I get up and have some of those things that you said for
Cool.
tummies.
Toxic prevents, yeah.
But yesterday when we were in there,
Actually,
just
that's okay.
talking about cutting bits and pieces off, yesterday it was freaking out for something fierce.
Mm.
My tummy was.
Yeah.
I'm sure me wasn't, but
Yeah.
my tummy was.
Okay. And you like your surgeon?
Oh, she's lovely.
Yeah, good.
And
Because that's a huge part
and
of it.
my nurse that introduced herself when she was in there, Mel,
Yeah. Hold.
you could not.
Fear of cancer repercussions.
And I was quite happy
Hold.
if I had a nurse and a surgeon that I liked,
Yeah.
and the staff didn't thought she was a man, that was fine. I could have anyone in breasts like that, tits like that, legs like that as a man beyond me, but you know, you never know that. You're lucky in a big city these days.
Mm-hmm. Of cancer repercussions. Hold. It's like when you're pregnant, isn't it? Every man and their dog has stories for you that may or may not be useful.
Whoever married Kieran Goff, Jane Richards? Anyway, she decided she was having a Caesar and she was going to be blacked out for all of it. Maybe my PA did as well. But they thought if you even mentioned having a baby, it freaked them out. I
Fear
think,
of cancer, fear of cancer repercussions.
I'm not frightened of getting pregnant at present, even if I had sex.
Mm-hmm. It would be very impressive if you did. You'd be mortified?
God, I'd brag about it. I'd go and tell the Courier Mail. I'd say I'm sure they must have made a mistake. It's probably just a cabbage growing in there, or watermelon seeds.
Okay, so I think we're about cooked. So, once again, let me check major pathways from left to right. Oh yeah, RAS again, okay.
What?
Reticular activating system again, it controls the hormones that we release when something stressful is happening. Fear of cancer repercussions, fear of pain, fear of death.
Have to.
Just chuck that one in there as a little extra. I had a lady come to see me 4, 5, 6 years ago, and she said to me, and she came in for hay fever, so she's chatting hay fever, sinus, for like most of the consultation. And on the way out, like literally, I think we were finishing up, and she said, "Oh, by the way, I should let you know I've got cervical cancer. It's 4th stage. I've got like 3 months to live." I was like, right. Excellent. So of course she didn't want anything done with that because she didn't believe there was anything that could be done. But it's one of those things when your immune system's out of balance. From a natural therapies perspective, the side of the immune system that kills cancer is the opposite to the side that is up and running when we've got sinus and hay fever.
I don't know what that means.
It means that if we're sick with sinus and hay fever, or asthma, eczema, dermatitis, those are all T helper 2 cell issues in the body. And while we've got excess T helper 2 cells, our body can be missing cancer tissue.
Ah, so I've had a cough for about 12 months and I've got cancer. Not to mention other worries and...
Yeah. Although the size of your tumour, I would guess it's probably taken quite, a few years to grow.
Well, they did change me to 2 years. And Marita, and after they changed it first, I tried to change it back to 1 and they assured me I didn't need it. And Marita was so upset about it, I didn't even mention it again to her.
Yeah, right.
Because I thought, I can deal with it, they don't appear to be going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And
So once again, fear of death, fear of... Yeah, right, it's in the fear of failure part of the brain. That's really funny where the fear of death is. Just by the way.
oh,
Once again.
well, you fail to live, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose it is the biggest fear of failure, the biggest failure. And hold, especially since you have no intention of carking it.
I would imagine I still wouldn't have any much desire to cark it even if Dad carked. I mean,
Oh. The flower essence is she oak. She oak is for female hormone imbalances. It's 5 drops.
what's a she-oak?
It's that's a flower essence. So you need 5 drops. Afternoon brandy. Beautiful. Once
You're
again,
getting rid of the evil spirits now.
absolutely.
Did enough of them come out?
Fear of failure, fear of cancer repercussions.
What was I going to say about the fear of failure or whatever? I mean, stressing about not getting the story written as well because I just didn't have enough concentration to be going and do it.
Yeah, right.
And then they added up and they'd already had a finished version and I thought, well, if the finished version is satisfactory, that's a lift off my head, even if it's not the most perfect
One
version.
less thing, yeah.
It was a version that was satisfactory and I thought, terrific.
Just going to do some figure 8s over the tumour.
Does that make it eternally stay there?
No. Cancer will be changing the layers of your aura.
Ah.
So it's just to protect the layers of your aura so that you're in your body and the cancer doesn't affect things outside. It doesn't feel too bad at the moment. Occasionally over the years when I put just my hand in the area over a cancer, I feel physically ill, and I'm not feeling that with you.
I've probably done all of that part of it. Yeah, ain't it?
There was one woman who'd had, actually this particular woman I'm thinking of, she'd had her breast removed, but the entire process from diagnosis, her treatment through the medical system had been so not nice. So she didn't have good people, she didn't have good support, she didn't have good aftercare, and she felt very bullied by everyone through the system. So she was very, very angry. So in the breast tissue, the scar tissue that was left over, there was all that emotional gear that she was going through, which is why it's important, because you'll end up with scar tissue. And after any operation, whatever emotions you're going through at the time can end up in that scar tissue, because the scar tissue is really tightly wound tissue.
So that's why Trace has so much problem.
Oh, it's huge. So having...
Trace still hurts.
Yeah.
And this is 23 years on.
Yeah.
And having stuff like that to look forward to.
No, it won't happen with you. Because between stem enhance and the collagen and stuff, you will be sorted. And getting the emotional gear sorted, which you will do. Some people don't do the emotional stuff.
They told me I'd be offered counselling.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, you said yesterday about going to see a shrink. And I said, that's a different matter. And I said, don't bloody withdraw. that sort of offers from me, I may well need it because
Absolutely,
it's an entirely
no.
different thing.
But you will be able to use it for whatever you want. And it will all be linked. It will all be linked. So never offer, take, never say no to free counselling. Okay, there you go. So once again, okay, just let me double check your organs because I haven't done that yet.
Which one would these be? My kidneys?
Oh, like lung, heart, that's the rest of the sex meridian, so the rest of your sex organs. Stomach, large intestine, bladder, small intestine, thyroid, adrenals, immune systems wants a tweaking. No surprise. Hold. Actually, that's pretty good. Let me ask very specifically in relation to cancer and cancer tissue. And hold. Okay. Cancer and cancer tissue. Because obviously, like we chatted last time, cancer cells have all sorts of little mechanisms so your immune system doesn't see them.
Pirates.
They are little pirates in your body, little aliens. Got to get your body recognising them. Okay. Cancer cells, cancer particles. Hold. Any and all stress and stress hormones. Hold. Okay, that's better than last time. Let's check xenoestrogen. So that's anything that looks like estrogen in the body. I know it's shown up triple negative, but I just want to double check anyway. Xenoestrogens. Hold.
That's only in the cancer cells though, isn't it?
Hold. Xenoestrogens can be anywhere in your body.
Mm-hmm.
The zeolite will be pulling them out, and the BRAC shots will be supporting the release of them. But they're showing up better than last time as well. And let's check insulin imbalances.
That's
Blood sugar.
diabetes.
Hold, yeah.
That's from eating the
Hold.
chocolates yesterday.
So, when they are triple negative breast tissue cancers, quite often they're insulin related. So sugar can allow the cancer to grow. Okay.
In spite of the fact
Insulin.
that I probably eat sugar, and I probably eat it mainly from fruit or tinned fruit or stuff like that.
Hold.
Because I've been gluten free, I certainly have
Hold.
probably have less sugar than the average bear. And I never drink that soft drink shit.
Yeah. No, it's hidden in lots of stuff. Like even having milky, and I'm not saying not to do it, but having milky lattes, milky cappuccinos, the milk sugars in that is quite high.
So well, that don't happen once a bloody fortnight.
Yeah, exactly. It's not very often. That's what I mean.
Except on days when I'm incredibly stressed for some reason or other, they comfort foods to me, which probably isn't good for me, but still, some days you just need something that's, you know, will settle you.
Makes you feel good, yeah.
And you can drive afterwards. Oh, they asked me 1,000 questions about my drinking. I said, oh, some days we might share an entire bottle of Chinese restaurant, but sometimes...
Let me ask in relation to alcohol. Well, that's happening hardly ever, is it? Like once a week, once a fortnight?
I haven't been to Chinese restaurant hardly for ages. Just got into hots about it the other day because I didn't know Doug hadn't been wanting to go because he'd been crook. And he said, what's all this not going to the Chinese restaurant on Sunday night? And I said, oh, I didn't know you wanted to go. Do you want to
Okay.
go? Then instead of saying yes or no or something polite, I just had a
So in other words, yes, he does. So just make it happen. Easy.
And then I said, right, do you want to go now? And he said, I'm not going tonight. I just said, someone else had just given me some other sort of entertaining shit, and I thought, Christ, you have to live with the two people who think it's okay not to talk politely.
So let me check acidity. So
What
there's
else
three.
it is.
There's three organs that make bicarb soda in the body: the small intestine, the pancreas, and
Is that the stuff that comes in gastric reflux?
That's the bad acid, yes. But you also need good acid to balance out your small intestines. So let's check. So I'm just checking specifically in relation to that. Hold in for me. That's good. Hold in for me. So your pancreas is doing quite nicely.
What's the pancreas doing at the time?
The pancreas releases insulin and glucagon. It helps to balance blood sugar levels.
Right.
But it also makes bicarb soda, which is neutralising. You know, people take bicarb soda, you know, to calm their stomach.
Oh.
Yeah.
They,
So bend the leg.
They did it, oh shit, they did it a lot more
Hold up
once
for
than
me.
now.
Yeah. And hold. Yeah. So that's small intestine. The small intestines are struggling, balancing your blood sugar levels. But small intestine does a whole bunch of stuff. So it's where 90% of your
What's the
immune...
small intestine? Is that a little gut bag?
No.
Is
So
that the thing like sausages?
it's the long one, 30 foot long.
And that they have the height to call it small.
Exactly. Well, it's skinny. Should be called the skinny intestines.
I know, I've seen enough sheep ones. They had a big bag and then they had the sausages, which you could stretch out for a long way.
And hold. That's it.
And if you could stretch it
And
to
hold.
10 metres or 12 foot or something, they weren't little.
Yeah. And kidneys. Hold up for me. So the kidneys also makes bicarb soda.
Are they
Hold.
happy?
No.
So they're not happy.
But kidneys is also about fear and anxiety as well.
Oh.
Because you know the adrenals sit right on top of the kidneys.
I didn't know you even had adrenals. I mean, you talk about them, but I didn't know they were things that you could see.
Yeah, okay. So the adrenals make 62 hormones, including all of your stress
I know my
hormones.
kidneys are more like that than this.
Yeah, right. Any reason why? Is that just genetic or because something else has moved it? Okay.
Mark Jackson didn't seem to think it, but he said
Oh.
just sometimes people get them. I said, what are those
Oh.
things? And he said, your kidneys. And I said, I thought kidneys were like that. He said, well, most people's are. He didn't say there was any reason for it.
Okay.
And I may be doing the BRAC test so
Oh,
that you
right.
and Carmel will know if you need to double your zincolites or whatever you might be doing. I mean, you might want to go testing more often. Carmel
Yeah.
would probably go with them testing more often.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
never do it.
You might go around having a bucket full of zinc for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't bother me in the least, and I would never do what Angelina did and just remove the... Angelina Jolie, she had positive BRCA testing, so she removed both boobs. But of course, she's a multi-millionaire and can afford a really good boob job afterwards.
I don't know that having a really good boob job is...
Oh, I've seen some bad ones. Having money is definitely a bonus.
Whether you're having a good boob job, a bad boob job, or anything else, they're still frigging painful. I mean, it can't be not painful.
No,
It just can't be not painful.
no. Interesting. Personally, I wouldn't bother having it done. Unless you're going to act on it.
What?
The BRCA gene.
Why
So are
the-
you doing it because, is it free?
I haven't even talked about
Oh,
it
okay,
yet. She
cool,
merely
cool.
mentioned it.
Okay, find out how much it is. If it's expensive, don't do it. If it's reasonably cheap, why not? But really the main reason people get the BRCA testing done is to decide whether or not they remove their breasts.
Oh, for me,
Yeah. So that's often why they do it.
even at my age.
But even then, the gene can be switched on and switched off. So that's what we're trying to do with the BRCA shots, is switch your dodgy genes off. Because you've just, you know, there are genes that have been activated because you've got cancer. So the long-term idea is to switch off those genes.
Well, Torley did say, had I been 30 or 40 years younger, he would have suggested both the breasts be removed.
Yeah.
But if Marita and Therese were also triple negative,
Yeah.
and they were younger,
Yeah.
I presume that they would have also had a suggestion of both boobs off, or unless you didn't do it back then.
Yeah.
I certainly know people that had breast cancer long before Marita got it, who's had both boobs
Yeah,
off.
absolutely.
But
Me
some people
Depends on the oncologist, depends on the surgeon, depends
no,
on...
it doesn't. A lot of people have had a perfectly healthy one again, have had it off, like Joan Maloney, against doctor's thing.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so that was a very chatty balance for Joy today. Obviously she's doing much better than last time. Thanks for all your prayers, everyone. Bye.
Yes.